Hello, my name is Omar Concepcion. I am the Community Engagement and Sponsorship Senior Program Manager here at the Alliance. I'm joined by my colleague.
Hi, I'm Sabrina Ahmed. I'm the Community Sponsorship Program Coordinator.
And we're going to talk to you a little bit today about our Community Sponsorships Program and go over a little bit about the Alliance and how the Community Sponsorships Program is structured. So a little bit of history about the Alliance. The Alliance was founded in 1985 through a union of Cambodian, Ethiopian, Laotian, and Vietnamese refugee organizations. So we've been serving the Houston community for just about 37 years. Our mission is to create opportunities for refugees, immigrants, and the underserved residents of Houston to achieve their goals of self-sufficiency and to improve their quality of life. And we do this by providing holistic wraparound services to all of the clients that we serve. So what we do here, the Alliance is a small nonprofit organization for welcoming and empowering those who face financial, educational, health, language, or cultural barriers for realizing their dreams. Beyond our core mission of refugee resettlement, we also have social educational programs, wellness services, and we provide many programs with opportunities for our clients to thrive in the community. So the Alliance is broken up into 4 major centers. Each center kind of takes a piece of that holistic programming and kind of divides it up so that the system is easier to navigate. Our Center for Entrepreneurship houses a lot of our programs surrounding small business lending, financial coaching and counseling, as well as financial literacy. Our Center for Literacy and Advancement houses both our educational programs for our youth as well as our adult ESL programs and different licensing programs that we have that encourage people, that encourage the community to get licensed or find different career paths. Our Center for Resiliency and Wellness houses our health and wellness, as well as our disaster preparedness response departments. Additionally, it also encompasses different projects around the community that kind of help the community with different crises that might be happening at the time. And then, of course, our Center for New Americans is our main refugee arm. They house all of our direct services to refugees and immigrants to the Houston community. So just a brief kind of aspect, and this is just kind of a brief list of some of the programs that we offer. Refugee Services offers specific advancement opportunities for refugees, as well as general health and wellness, which we'll talk about later. Our health and social service, we have health and social services, adult education and training, which includes different programs such as ESL, our vocational training, licensing in different aspects, including CDL, becoming a nursing assistant, phlebotomy, and other different career paths. We have a driver's education department. Our Alliance Language Network offers interpretation in over 70 languages. Our Financial Opportunity Center offers education around finances, as well as financial opportunities and goal setting for the community. Our community cloth empowers women from local immigrant and refugee populations to sell their artisanal crafts to the community. We have a wellness center that specifically focuses on the trauma aspect of that can affect our community, particularly our refugee community. Including counseling, group counseling, medication management, and other such aspects. We have employment services that guide our clients towards different forms of employment. Our Kajana Youth Program focuses on immigrant youth in the community, providing enrichment and after-school opportunities. We have our disaster recovery response, and of course, we are a AmeriCorps Vista member. So a little bit about who refugees are. So refugees are a specific designation provided by the United Nations, and they're mainly people who are forced to leave their country in order to escape war, persecution, or natural disaster. But of course, to become a refugee, while many individuals flee these disasters every day, they still do require a special designation from the UN to be considered a refugee. People who are refugees come from many different countries from around the world and are most often hosted in neighboring countries. Oftentimes they stay in those countries for 5 to 10 years while applying to resettle in another country or community around the world. Less than 1% of all refugees are resettled each year, and the U.S. remains a beacon of hope for some of the 26.4 million people living as refugees currently. So a little bit about what the refugee crisis looks like right now. So globally, it's estimated that about 68.5 million people are forcibly displaced. And that's more than any other crisis since World War II. So about 22,491 refugees are admitted to the U.S. Were admitted to the U.S. in 2018, and this number has been steadily decreasing since 2016. However, Harris County in particular receives the second most refugees in the nation due to our diversity, our strong infrastructure, and our diverse economy. Houston has always been a welcoming community to diverse populations, including immigrants and refugees, and we're one of the most diverse places in the United States. So a little bit about our refugee population here at the Alliance. Currently, due to the crisis in Afghanistan, Afghan clients tend to make up the largest majority of refugees that we've currently accepted. However, we have accepted and do care for refugees from Iraq, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Cuba, Myanmar, Iran, Haiti, and Syria. So a little bit of the numbers game for the current resettlement numbers. So currently we have about 1,268 Afghan evacuees that have currently sought help through the Alliance, so over 12,000. And Houston is estimated to welcome close to 5,000 Afghan allies in total. And this is just a brief look at what resettlement services look like. So when a refugee arrives with one of the resettlement agencies, we're kind of responsible for establishing the household, supporting them with employment, connecting them to schools, transportation services, helping them learn English and delivering cultural orientation, arranging for legal services as needed, and doing that a welcome and arrival process to make sure that they're set up for success once they arrive. So long-term refugee services, so any of our refugee clients are eligible for long-term services up to 5 years from their arrival. So we offer, as far as long-term services, we offer job readiness training and job placement services, recertification and support for any of our refugee clients who have high-level skills, counseling and support groups offered through our wellness clinic, support for elderly refugees and refugees with disability through our preferred communities department, and cultural adjustment and orientation services that are ongoing. Obviously, there's a lot of adjusting that needs to happen once resettling in a new and different place. So we provide those services on an ongoing basis. So now I'm going to hand it over to Sabrine, who's going to talk a little bit more about our community sponsorships program.
Thank you, Omar, for the history and background of the Alliance. I am Sabrine. As I mentioned before, I'm the Community Sponsorship Program Coordinator. I'm going to go into more detail about the program. So the Co-Sponsorship Program is a pilot program from the Ethiopian Community Development Council. And basically what the program does is provide long-term social and emotional support from the Houston community to help resettle one family. The program will essentially alleviate kind of the stress off case managers, and these groups will either do some or most of the case management duties. And this is a long-term commitment, about 6 months to a year, just depending on the family's needs. And the program is designed so that the co-sponsorship group will be part of the resettlement process every step of the way. And so what we have here is our mission statement, and we really do feel that it encompasses our goals for the program, which is to create opportunities for the local community to welcome and strengthen bonds with refugee families. So co-sponsorship, like I said before, is a commitment that helps refugees over a period of 12+ months. And what we want to kind of do is offer a diverse range of community experiences to kind of help them settle into Houston. The program is designed to meet their needs so that they can reach economic self-sufficiency as quickly as possible. And this program is also designed to help larger refugee families, or like multi-generational refugee families, or refugee families with very specific needs. And what we want to do with the program is kind of offer a more community experience than what resettlement agencies can offer alone. So what is the commitment for a program like this? This is kind of the ask that we're looking for groups to join the program. We are kind of asking our co-sponsors to meet these requirements in order to properly visit all the families. I do want to note that this program is going to be a bit more intensive than normal volunteer opportunities that we do here at the Alliance. Just to know, it is a little bit different than other volunteer things that we do here. So first thing is that we will need a financial donation of $3,000 that will go directly to the families. This donation is going to go to rent, emergency and disaster funds, and use for pocket money for the families as well. This is kind of where like the sponsoring part is going to come through. If the $3,000 does seem pretty daunting or a lot, we're very, very flexible. We can definitely create fundraising opportunities for your group if needed. The next thing is that we will need a group of 7 or more people that will kind of take on different tasks of resettlement. And I'll go into detail in the next couple of slides of what those tasks are. The next thing is that we will also need our groups to kind of raise in-kind donations throughout the year for the family. So they will need to be able to give food, furniture, clothing, items like that, whatever the family needs. And last thing is that because it is a 12-month commitment, the first 90 days is where the groups will be working with the families as they kind of become more independent and self-sufficient. The co-sponsor groups will have fewer and fewer hours with them every single week. We do also have an option if this all seems a bit too much or a bit too daunting for support services, which is very, very similar to co-sponsorship. The only difference is that there won't be a requirement for the donation of $3,000. That's an option if the group wants to, if you guys want to give it. And the main difference is that they will only do some of the resettlement services instead of most of the services. So who are we looking for? So this is like, I guess, the kind of type of dynamic in the groups that we're kind of looking for the program. It is really important that our co-sponsors do kind of have these qualities, just, once again, to the fact that you will be working close to people who have been through a crisis. So of course, we are looking for passionate and empathetic groups who want to learn about the resettlement process. We do need our groups to be pretty self-organizing with a clear leadership structure and who can dedicate much time to help these families. I do want to note that the resettlement process is pretty extensive. So having a group of people that will help them become independent that much quicker. Like I said in the beginning, this is also to help alleviate the stress from case managers just due to the need of the Afghan crisis. Currently, right now, most of our clients are from Afghanistan, but of course, this program is open to any of our refugee clients. Like I said before, the group will need to have fundraising capabilities as they will be raising in-kind donations throughout the year for the family. Okay, so co-sponsorship, team roles and responsibilities. So these are kind of the different tasks that we have mitigated within the groups. The groups will assist in helping the family integrate and will pretty much take on different aspects of resettlement and integration. All these roles will also be taught in our orientation, and we do have resources for each role as well. If one member needs some more support in learning about their position. I also do want to note that these roles are interchangeable and they're not solidified. So for example, 2 roles may be able to do one thing. So this is not like exactly what every single person just needs to do. I just want to note that before I begin. So the first role we have here is transportation. So the role of transportation is going to just kind of help the families navigate the transportation system in Houston, kind of teach them the different bus routes and and how to use the metro in like the greater Houston area. Kind of teach them how to get to our office at the Alliance, back to their apartments, or from their apartments to maybe like the doctor's office or like their kid's school. That's definitely where like the education wellness role will come in and help. If they want to get a driver's license, we do have a driver's ed program here at the Alliance as well, and they'll probably just kind of help them register for that too. The next role we have is wellness. So the role of wellness is not only, of course, going to be helping them with their physical wellness, but their mental health as well by connecting them to local resources. They're really going to help them maybe even create like doctor's appointments or even going to appointments with them, of course, with the parents' consent, with the family's consent. Kind of teach them how health insurance works, in America. Teach them how to medically take care of themselves in the American context, and just make sure every single member of the family has all their vaccines in check as well. Overall, this role just kind of help them learn more about the American medical system. It can be quite complicated, so they'll help them. They'll support them in that. The next role we have is education. So the role of education is pretty big, especially the first 90 days, because not only they're going to help, the parents enroll in our ESL program that we have, but they're also going to help enroll the kids into school. They'll help out with things like parent-teacher conferences until the parents are able to go on their own. Once again, of course, with the family's consent, if they're comfortable with it, and just overall kind of help the family navigate the American school system. It can be quite daunting, especially for the children. The school system here is very, very different than from their home country, so they're gonna have a lot of questions, a lot of concerns. So the education will just help them answer those questions and give them that extra support that they need. The next role we have here is housing. So the role of housing will actually be part of the pickup team from the airport from when the family arrives in Houston. They will also help furnish the home with the Alliance Moving team. They're going to kind of be the ones raising the in-kind donations and giving them clothing if needed throughout the year. And one big thing they'll be doing is kind of helping them adjust to their homes by helping them learn how to use home devices. Of course, the homes here are much more different than the homes in their home countries. So living in an apartment will be an adjustment for them. They'll probably teach them how to use things in like the kitchen or the bathroom, just stuff like that, daily tasks, just different daily tasks, whatever the family needs. So just help them with that or give them that support. Okay, so this is part 2 of the roles. So these are the last 3 roles that we have here. Next role is cultural adjustment. So essentially this role will kind of just help the families feel like Houston is their new home by kind of teaching them where the malls are, the parks, taking them out to the zoo, take the families out, once in a while on an outing for like the kids to have fun. A lot of them only eat their very specific cultural food. So kind of showing them where like their cultural grocery stores are, or a lot of them only eat halal meat. So like helping them find like a, local halal meat store, stuff like that. Just like the housing person, just kind of help them with like daily tasks and help them also with like the home appliances, anything that they may need. So that'll be their main role. Next role we have is jobs and finance. So kind of like the education role, they will have a pretty big role the first 90 days because they're going to support the parents in helping them find a job. That could be a number of things that may be helping them set up a LinkedIn account, helping them create a resume, navigating the online job market like through Indeed, stuff like that. Just kind of help them or give them that support. They will also show them how to set up their bank account, kind of show them how to pay their bills properly, teach them about credit and how to establish good credit, and help them create financial goals for the family. And last but certainly not least, we have the leader. So the leader has a very big and unique role because they're going to kind of be the one reporting to me and Omar on a weekly basis. They're going to kind of be in charge of mitigating the team and the task for each role. So just making sure everyone's meeting their expectations as needed. And one thing that's very unique that they'll be doing is case notes. So of course, the family will still be assigned a case manager, and traditionally the case manager does the case notes. But because the group will be doing most of the resettlement, the resettlement process, the leader will be doing case notes. So the team will update the lead on how the family is doing, and they'll just be uploading case notes on the same database as the case manager would as well. So why should you join the program? These are some positive outcomes we believe will happen if you decide to join. These are just a couple of reasons why we believe this could not only, of course, be great for our clients and for the families, but why this would be great for you and the Houston community as a whole. So first thing is that you will get a hands-on approach on the resettlement process. Many people do not get this opportunity to see what these families go through. You kind of get an inside look at the flow of everything in the actual process and steps of resettlement. We also feel like this could definitely help strengthen the wider Houston community. As you all know, we are one of the most diversities in America, and we have some of the highest immigration populations as well. Of course, a large portion of that immigration population are refugees that come here, and many people don't know the actual process of them coming to Houston and settling in Houston. We also feel like this could help create healthy bonds between, local Houstonians that are already settled here and new refugees coming in. I think this could definitely create a better understanding of both peoples and help create bridges between our communities. And of course, we think that this program could help dismantle stereotypes about immigrants or refugees, especially like as I said before, when you get a firsthand look at what they've been through. I think this program will be a great conversation starter on what refugees have to go through every day on a daily basis in Houston. And it is really important that our community does kind of start to have those conversations. I also do want to note that we feel that community resettlement would really help them feel more welcome and supported, especially when the families and the clients themselves kind of realize that they're having volunteers that are dedicating their own time and their own resources to a greater cause. I think just that motivation itself will help them become more empowered to be self-sufficient as quickly as possible. And now I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Omar, who will talk about the application process and steps of the program.
So thank you so much, Sabrine. So a little bit about our process that we set up to start becoming a community sponsor. So we ask that everybody attend an interest meeting. Watching this video would count as that. The interest meeting just kind of sets up the parameters of the program and just lets you know a little bit about the responsibilities. Please, once again, like Sabrine said earlier, we are very flexible with this program, so please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Additionally, with most of the program overview, we are willing to have some teams on as support teams. So after you view this interest meeting or come to one in person, we do ask that you kind of reach out to us to kind of discuss what the next steps are. The next steps are usually an application for those wanting to do full community co-sponsorship. So the application process can be kind of daunting. However, it just helps us kind of set up a little bit about what just get to know you and your group. That way we can more easily facilitate what those needs are and help you guys navigate any issues that might come up in the future, or help you guys structure in ways that would be best suited to support not only yourselves through the process, but also our clients. We then ask that you have a planning meeting with us. That way we can discuss any of those, any of those things, so that way we can also create a memorandum of understanding. That memorandum of understanding just kind of outlines the exact responsibilities of both the Alliance and the co-sponsorship team, and so that way we have a clear format of how we're going to support each other and what what the expectations are for both parties. Additionally, we do ask that everyone perform a background check before interacting directly with our clients. So anyone on the team of 7 that is specifically going to be interacting with the clients directly, we do ask that, they perform a background check. At that point, once the background checks have been received, Sabrina and I will set up an orientation meeting. That orientation is about 6 hours. We know that's a long time. However, we do need that time commitment to be able to train the different teams on different items of refugee resettlement, as well as build that solidarity, so that way we have a good knowledge base to start, interacting with the clients. At that point, once the orientation is completed, we will discuss with our leadership team to make a successful family match, and then me and Sabrina will perform a family introduction, and then the community sponsorship process starts. We also just want to note that anyone viewing this video, or anyone trying to interact with the Alliance, that this is not the only way that you can interact with the Alliance as a volunteer or someone who gives back to not only our clients, but also the greater Houston community. We do have one of our biggest events of the year coming up. That's our back to school event. It's planned for August 6th, 2022. We plan to give out backpacks and help serve. We had planned backpacks, help serve the community with the health and wellness fair, as well as a business expo for a couple of Houston businesses. But we really, the goal is to give out about 3,000 backpacks to over 10,000 families and serve them with food and different items that they might need to have a successful school year. We also have our United We Dine event. It's our huge gala that will take place on September 15th. And we're really excited to kind of promote a lot of local businesses, as well as get a lot of engagement from the community through that. You can always donate to the Alliance directly using our Amazon wishlist, which you see the link for right there, as well as you can sign up as a volunteer using that other link that you see at the bottom of your screen. Please also feel free to keep up with us on social media. Our handle is The Alliance Texas on all major platforms. There we have different content, educational content, as well as ways to get involved with us here at the Alliance, and different and just different programs that we're running throughout the year. We do really thank you for your time in viewing this presentation. Please feel free to reach out to me or Sabrine directly if you have any questions. Sabrina, do you have anything to add before we go?
Thank you all so much for watching this. Like Omar said, please don't hesitate to email us or even text us. Our numbers are at the bottom of our emails for any questions or concerns that you guys have.
Thank you so much for your time and have a great rest of your day.
You.